now lead us in the pledge.
Lord, we thank you for this day that you've given us to be here in your presence in this room. We pray, Lord, that all the business that's going to be taken care of, all the conversations and all the relationships that are going on, Lord, will be pleasing and glorifying to you. We all know that, and we trust that your will is being done in and through these leaders. I pray for a word of encouragement from you to the leaders, for the leaders, as they lead this county in the business. We pray this in the precious and beautiful name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Jeff. Join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any public comment? None, we'll go to the consent agenda. Department reports. Amelia, is she here?
Yes.
Senior citizen.
Good morning. For the month of July, the senior center served 1,558 meals to homebound clients and 102 meals to our congregate clients, for a total of 1,660 total per month.
That's it.
Our new fridge will be delivered tomorrow.
Your what?
New fridge will be delivered tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Extension officer is Mr. Dixon, not here. County treasurer report, Ms. Parks.
After bank reconciliations, the county funds ended in $10,162,766.90. This with an interest earned of $35,482.50. That's earning interest on the taxable money market account at a rate of 4.31%. And currently, the rest of the funds, we are at 4.08. I currently have 83.49% of our funds sitting in that taxable account so that we can gain that extra interest. And that's all I have.
Thank you. County auditor, Ms. Holmes.
Yes, the commissioner should have received the invoice file listing. Let me know if you have any questions on the bills. And also have an additional bill, which is our INS, our jail payment, that's due, for $55,000. That wasn't in the bill list. If y'all need to look at that, let me know. And then we're nearing the end of our year. We're about right because we've got in 115% of our revenue and we have spent 92% of our expenses.
Should be about, on your budget sheet, about 0.85%. Is where we should be, if you're right. If you go through that, look, see what's over there. As of August, anyway, with this month and September.
Yeah, so just turn in your bills, please, as quickly as you can. End of year.
Any questions from Ms. Baldwin? Any law enforcement, Sheriff Dixon?
Yes, sir. Law enforcement answered 297 calls for the month of July. We currently have 11 inmates housed in Jones County. We will be transporting one inmate to Middleton Unit over in Abilene today. His final destination will be the Kagan's Unit down in Houston. And I do have 3 others that are awaiting beds from TDCJ. That's all I got for now. And I know it's not on the agenda, but just food for thought. I would like to explore getting a contract for keeping the lot behind the law enforcement facility, get it mowed, and then maybe a continuing upkeep so it's not quite an eyesore. Just something to think about, and I'll have it on next month's agenda.
Right, that's all I have on the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion. Ms. Posey makes a motion. Sarah seconds it. All in favor? Motion carries. New business. I wanna back up or a bit ahead here. Ricky, I know you're busy.
Oh, yeah.
It's the last thing on the agenda, so you don't have to sit through all this.
If y'all don't mind.
Of your time, if you'll go ahead and then we'll discuss it and we'll get into it.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Judge. May it please the court?
Yes.
Thank you for having me. I'm gonna step in here, sorry. I don't like this.
You're not used to being.
Yeah, I'm not used to being on that side. And so I was gonna do my budget request. I know it was a couple weeks ago and I was stuck in Mitchell County and then had to get here, which y'all were done by the time I got here. Done, so I apologize, for being on there and then not presenting my budget. But I do have some budget requests. Currently, we have 3 offices, Nolan, Mitchell, and Fisher County office. Usually Fisher County office remains empty unless we're working here. But Mitchell County office, where my office manager, Marion Dollar, handles all the cases that are flowing from Fisher County into Mitchell County. She has an assistant, Judy Martinez, that handles the intakes, calls, and paperwork as well. And then Nolan County, Angelica Collier, her handles our office manager there, and she has an assistant that handles the cases as they come in. And so I'll tell you, when a case comes in, like I'll just have a basic case, when it comes in, there might be 10 videos. My assistants, and the office manager divide the caseload up half and half. Currently across the counties, we have a 30 to 40% increase in cases, in all 3 counties, even Fisher County, as the crime has increased across the state and nation. And so it's been an increase in cases, and so when the cases come in, they have to upload the videos to our system database, put the case in, and then they give it out to me and the ADA. I have 1 prosecutor in my office. That process, even on a simple case, will take about 3 hours for 1 case to be put in with the amount of digital evidence that we have nowadays. Because you have dash cam, body cam, you have front dash, back dash, you have body cam footage. Any officers responding to the scene, the state of Texas, and the defense attorneys and the discovery rules require us to get every body cam of every officer on the scene, supplements, things like that. So you can imagine the amount of data coming in, just that alone. My office manager and my assistant stay quite busy just doing that. When we have court dates, they half the cases on the plea dockets. We have about the waivers nowadays to just plea a case, run about 15 to 20 pages deep. And so you might have 18 cases on a docket. They have it 9 if they're pleading, going to court, answer phones, all kinds of things that the office does. And so currently, my office assistant in Nolan County is funded out of Mitchell County. Mitchell County assistant is not funded out of any counties. That is paid directly out of a forfeiture account, which is slowly dwindling down with the retirement of Ronnie Siltner and Billy Sides. If y'all don't know them, they're responsible for 95% of what was in that forfeiture account. And they retired.
What's in there, Ricky?
Right now in Mitchell County, there's less than about a million in there currently. And that's Mitchell County. No one has their own. Fisher County, we just got a seizure. That was the first seizure I've ever seen in Fisher County. I mean, the bank account, I was just talking to Becky about that. Mark never had a seizure out of Fisher County. Each county where they're seized in, the money in, we put in a seizure account. Fisher County's never had seizures in my time as DA. And Ann's time as DA, she actually didn't have any money in the account at any point. So Mitchell County was our major one because that's where Ronnie and Billy set up at for many years. It was upwards of 4 to 5 million. In the last few years, it went down 3 million in 2 to 3 year span. Because I do have my interdiction officers currently paid out of that. And so that issue's slowly dwindling down until we're able to build that back up. I don't know what else to do other than ask the counties to fund these positions that are needed. And so those positions, I'm asking for Fisher County to pay their percentage of those 2 admin assistant positions. That would come out to about a $15,000 salary, a budget increase, which would be 7 and 7 each for each assistant, plus whatever their percentage is to the benefits that are paid for those individuals. Additionally, the second budget request I have is every county surrounding our counties has increased their budget for assistant district attorneys. Taylor County upped every one of their ADA salaries $30,000 across the board. Currently, a newly licensed prosecutor with no experience prosecuting misdemeanors would make more in Taylor County than they would here in my county prosecuting felons. Scurry County pays their ADA more, Big Spring pays their ADA more, and Tom Green County pays all their ADAs more than all my ADAs, or my ADA. And so it's become an issue in the sense of retaining prosecutors. These are individuals with doctorate degrees, professionals, and the recruitment of these individuals have become very difficult on prosecutors' offices across the board. And so I'm asking for an increase of her salary. I think I was asking for about a $15,000 increase over the 3 counties. That breakdown would have been 52% in Nolan. I think it goes down to like 32 in Mitchell, and it might be the rest is in Fisher County. So Fisher County would fund the smaller portion of that amount, but that would be an increase I'm asking for her salary bump up to get her to a point to where it's a recruitment issue, or even if she were to leave, to be able to recruit a prosecutor to our office.
Do you know what that number is gonna be roughly?
I don't know the rough number, I can get that to y'all. I do know when I did it to Mitchell County, this is what I told Mitchell County, that Mitchell County is really receptive to paying their portion of the assistance and my ADA. I don't know my third request, but I'll tell you, Nolan County is probably gonna say no across the board. I don't want y'all, this is the problem I've always had with budgets with my district, is I have counties bouncing off of each other. And so every time I go to one county, it's like if the other one does it not, and so I'm just asking for Fisher to pay their portion. If one of the other counties doesn't, then I would approach that at the next budget meeting and tell them these other counties pay their portion. Currently I have, a plan to have more drug interdiction people come to Fisher County, especially in Rotan area, as we are getting information that all the counties are pushing out to Fisher County. And so I have a new assistant or a part-time interdictor, Braden Bill, who actually lives in Fisher County, who's gonna plan on being more visible in Fisher County as well. But he's paid out of our forfeiture account in Mitchell County. I don't have that number, but that would be an increase just to bump Michaela, who's my current ADA, that salary up to a portion where it's competitive with the surrounding counties. These are the requests I would say. That first one, the assistance and the ADA. My third request is currently with what I have to handle outside of my job duties as far as prosecuting, and honestly, that's what I'm good at. I love being in the courtroom. I do not like being in front of y'all. No offense, I don't like politicking, asking for budgets. My strength is being in a courtroom setting and arguing, prosecuting cases. That's what I do, and I don't plan to stop that. But with my caseload, with budgets, office management, the amount of meetings I have with law enforcement officials across the state, it's becoming increasingly hard for me to focus on the major cases as they come in. Currently I have 2 code cases, one in Fisher County, one in Mitchell County, that me and Bo Brown, the code case ranger, work after hours on together, that I would like to devote more time to. I just don't, because currently I'm supposed to be in court right now at 9 o'clock in Nolan County, and they're holding those dockets for me until I get back. And then I'm on set on aggravated sexual assault in Nolan County I'm prosecuting tomorrow. So those time frames of me are hard to do. So I am asking for an assistant district attorney, a second one, to help with those caseload. We had an increase of over 30–40%. The indictments, the caseload, the dockets they're way busier than I've ever seen it. In my time, and Mark's time, probably nowhere near touch the amount of cases we're dealing with. So that salary would be currently just $60,000 across the 3 counties with benefits, so it'd be just a portion that Fisher County's overpaying. So I would say I don't know if the other counties are gonna do that, so if they weren't gonna fund that, then that would be a wash for Fisher County, because I wouldn't be able to hire one without all 3 counties funding that spot. So, any questions y'all have for me?
If you will get us a number, we won't adopt the budget till next month.
Yeah, I can get y'all numbers
So
on.
you get us a number either through Hattie to Becky, so we
Okay.
have something to act on for next month.
Yeah.
We know what we're agreeing to.
Yeah, and I'll get you the salary numbers, and then I'll get it to Becky, and she can shoot me the percentage. You know,
That's like 14.
Yeah, or y'all can shoot me the number of taxes and
Yeah.
reimbursement fees, so I can do that. So, alright, you have any other questions for me?
On the percentages on the second request, you said 32% Mitchell, 50
And I'm going
around
off-
Nolan.
Yeah, I'm kinda going
Just
off
kinda
memory,
off your
like,
head.
yeah, I think, I'm for sure 52% is paid by Nolan County.
I think
With the
that's,
total being 15,000 off of.
Yes, all 3 counties,
that's
It'd
like
be
13.
looking roughly about 2,700 on that one
yeah,
for us.
it's the smallest amount. based
15,000 on the first one, cause you're asking 7 additional on
Yes,
both, so
yeah, that'll be two employees.
you're at 17.7 there. minus whatever the last request is.
Yes, yeah. And so, yeah, the smallest portion is based on population size.
Yeah, I think it's 13 point something.
Yeah, I can't
It's
remember
almost
the exact.
14%.
Yeah, it's close to there.
14, yeah.
So, I do know it's about 52 to Nolan County, so I just recently did that budget, it was about, I think 52.8 or something.
So it'd be a little less than 27.
Yeah, so. And that's the salary base, there is reimbursement, I know fees for taxes and insurance, that there's a percentage there that's given, that'd be a little bit more, but.
How much of an increase are we really seeing on cases throughout the counties right now?
About 30% across the board, I mean,
Even here in Fisher.
even here in Fisher County, and that's with turnover and, I mean, I would say Fisher County, out of every county I have, has the least amount of, and as police officers on the street, currently. And that's no offense to sheriff or anybody, it's just the staffing issues. Cause Sweetwater has their own police department, their sheriff's office, you got Roscoe PD, Mitchell County has, Colorado City PD, Mitchell County Sheriff's Office, and then Fisher County only has FCSO. And I don't see many UPS troopers here as often anymore. I know Corey Malden's now a CV trooper, he used to hang out over here quite often, but he's now in Mitchell County. And then the seizure, the one in Rotan, was the Fisher County responding, that big drug thing, Rotan, but that was also DPS coming to help too. My hoping is to have my newest part-time guy come over here quite more frequently. He'll be more willing to come sit, and then having both my guys come over here more frequently. Cause the amount of cash and drugs seized from the case in Rotan, that's a lot for a local dealer to have that amount of cash on him for just a little guy. We don't usually see that unless it's the highway coming back to the hotel, so that was a lot of money for a local.
I haven't even heard anything.
Yeah, they seized about 26,000 cash off somebody, and UPS did in Rotan, and about I think it was 1 ounce of methamphetamines.
Forgive me for my ignorance, but what is that money that you seize, what does that go to, or what can it?
So-
Is that under your control?
It is current, it's in a interest-bearing savings account, so we have a civil forfeiture hearing, and then it goes through the court, and once awarded, it's awarded to the DA, but then I have a operating agreement with the seizing agency. So, since it's DPS, 70% of that goes to DPS, and then 30% goes into a forfeiture account. If it's Fisher County SO season money, then it's 70% would go to Fisher County's, forfeiture account, and 30% goes to my forfeiture account, and I can spend that on law enforcement purposes. I can do salaries, upon the commissioner's approval, court's approval, and I do that out of Mitchell and Nolan, but I would say that's why our accounts are getting drained so fast over in Nolan. Mitchell is because I'm having to pay salaries out of it, and so it's getting down really quick, so. But it is for law enforcement purposes, that can be done on. Throughout the years, we've actually given, I would say any amount that was in the sheriff's forfeiture account in the last 20 years was given from the DA's forfeiture account. Like, we used to give money out when it was a lot bigger. We used to give money, pay for trainings, pay for equipment, things like that. We've done
Yeah,
that
that
over
one's
the years.
Gone.
It's gone,
It's
yeah.
0 now.
Yeah, we haven't had money to give in a long time since Ronnie Bill did. So I'm having to be very careful what I do with that, given the amounts are going down so fast. So,
Any other questions for?
any questions on that? Thank you so much, thanks Judge for doing that. Give me a minute, excuse.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, if you have any questions, I'll email that to you back.
Okay, thank you.
All right, new business, conflict of interest, Ms. Mullin,
No conflict of interest bills, Judge.
budget amendment.
Yes, I do have budget amendments. I have 3, actually. The first one I have is for, precinct 1. He's needing repairs on his John Deere grader, and I attached that bill to the budget amendment. I guess you guys got that right? Okay, that's the first one I have, which is 30,000. The next one is a budget amendment for the sheriff's office, cause they're short. And back in, May of 2024, the court approved for Collogic contract and we paid that out of his budget, and that kinda happened in 2024, but it rolled into 2025. So I'm asking for that to be amended, let's see what else on that. I believe it was $50,000 to amend that one. For the watch-
Everything collided.
Yeah, that's what they approved, yes, last year, but it didn't roll into this year, until this year. So it kinda making them short. And then on the out-of-county housing, in the LAC, obviously, we budgeted 40 and we spent 117, so that's about 78,000.
We changed that for this budget.
I believe we did. But those are the three amendments that we have. We're not short in our overall budget, but it's just easier to amend those line items than it is to me to try to move money from all the other departments that are over. Makes it cleaner.
Any questions? I'll entertain a motion. Mr. Posey makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second, all in favor? Unanimous, motion carried. Item number 4, burn ban. Gentlemen, what's your thoughts? Currently off? Leave it off, do we need to reinstate?
I'm okay with leaving it off, we haven't had any problems. Yet.
We haven't had any yet. If we have one, we may have to have a special meeting. Reinstate.
I agree, that take long to try it out. Y'all
We
right
got
there?
some rain chances this week, so we leave it off, and if it doesn't happen, we start having some problems, we call a special meeting. Reinstate.
We'll do that, nothing necessary on that, just a reminder, if y'all ever put it on, I can take it off, but I cannot put it on without the approval. No action on the burn ban. Item number 5, special revenue, Ms. Mullen.
Happy none, Judge.
Item number 6, discuss and approve Commissioners Court Rules of Procedure in compliance with House Bill 1522. Is everybody familiar with what that is? You just have to have 3 days now, working days, before we can post an agenda, so we need to move that back to Tuesday. We were doing it on Thursday.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Unanimous, motion carried. Item number 7, discuss and approve updated Commissioners Court agenda request form. I think you'll have that, it's the same, it just changed our cutoff to Tuesday noon, is that right, Bill?
I'm sorry,
Tuesday noon, is that when cutoff?
Tuesday at noon is what we're gonna have to do for the cutoffs, but we can get it posted.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Unanimous, motion carried. Item number 8, approve order of election constitutional amendments on November 4th, 2025. Pat's not here, you have it in that door? Okay. Any questions on that, gentlemen? No, no questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second by Mr. Posey, all in favor? Unanimous, motion carried. All right, item number 9, approve publication of proposed increase in salary. I think in the proposed budget, we put 5%.
5% across the board, yes.
So any discussion on that? No discussion?
What are you talking about, approving the 5%, or can we not raise that up? Is that for the? Is that for the budget?
Yes, sir.
We
Have
have to,
to do that today so that we can get it in the newspapers.
Yeah, it has to be
Decide
published.
on that.
Well, I don't see no reason we can't at least give them 7% this year, we got the money to do it.
We got the money, but let me make a suggestion just so that everybody understands. The county office gave 3%. The COG, which I'm on their budget committee for 19 counties, gave 3%. Nolan County's giving 3%. Mitchell County's giving 5%. And I suggested 5%. I don't know why we would want to give 7%.
Well, because their salaries are a lot more than everybody's in this county That's one. Your CAD office, they're a lot more than what anybody makes. That's why I say, we're way behind in pay scales, way behind. That's why I say at least 7%, come on, man. Just,
We're way behind in what though? I mean.
we're way
where the
behind on
numbers coming
salaries.
from?
We're
So,
way behind on salaries from.
Are
all
we
the-
way behind bigger counties with a higher
It don't make
budget, or are we
any county,
way behind?
any county, we're way behind. We're way behind.
Do we have proof before we're behind on county ourselves?
Well, I ain't gonna go there, but I didn't get any proof, but I'm sure I can get it pretty quick. You got proof across the road what they make. So a 3% on their salary is pretty good. It's kinda like your salary, 3% of your salary and compared to 3% of our salary is a big difference.
No, it's not, 3%, 3%, I don't get paid on my stipend, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, but we don't even get paid what we should get paid. And I'm asking for a raise for the commissioners to get brought up to what it should be on, like the rest of the elected officials too. So let's get that out of the way.
Any discussion on that?
Our salary is way behind the other commissioners, cause I did do some checking on that, but no, I didn't print it off, so. But anybody can look and see it's public records.
I know we're closer to us, cause I've got the guys that work, that I've been through school with, we're actually ahead of them on what we are on salary. We're not behind everybody, and that's why I was asking where the numbers were coming from on where we're behind everybody.
Well,
You gotta kinda come back to where our income for our county, where we're at too. Not just throwing out, well, we're
We
behind.
got pretty good income in this county. We put lots of money.
We're starting to get a good income, but if we get enough back in, we need to start looking at bringing some other stuff back.
We've got lots of more income coming, our down the pipe too, it's just not here yet. Not a guarantee, but it's pretty much, yeah, it's coming.
And we've got a lot of income that's leaving before too long. So we've gotta be careful with what we do within that. I'm not opposed to raising people's salary, but most government entities don't get more than a 3% pay increase for annual cost of living. 5% is actually a very good pay increase, especially across the board. If we were to do something, I say, to me more, the employees need it more than the elected officials need it, honestly.
Well, you don't have to take it.
So, but I mean, the biggest thing is, let's put the money where we can get the people in, because if we don't have the right employees,
You're exactly right.
we're not gonna get it done.
And if you don't pay them, they're not gonna stay. We already have that problem in our precinct.
I know everything was set where it is, Judge, on the 5% across the board.
Now, that's on the proposed, y'all can say
I
anything
know
you want.
it's proposed. But can we see about the 5% for the elected and the 7.5 for employees, with what
Yes, can
you
I
said
have-
was coming in?
I'd have to redo the numbers to change that.
So you're saying
If,
3% for.
right now, if you increased it
5 for,
across the
leave
board,
this
it
at
would add
5, the
another
only thing that would
60,000.
change would be the employees being at 7.5.
I ain't going for that.
I ain't going for a 7.5
You don't
increase
have to, I
across
didn't ask
the
for
board.
7, I said 7.
Yeah, 5, I think is more
And
than
the biggest,
enough.
the biggest reason is I'm asking is, you be here 20, 30 years, you have to work 40 to get retirement enough to even live. By that time, you're nearly dead, so I guess you can make it. We don't pay nobody enough money, and we have the money, but y'all wanna just hide it and say, oh, we ain't got it. We've got it.
Did you run those numbers? Did you, please?
I can tell you, if you did it across the board, it'd up the budget number $60,000 more dollars. If you went across the board with 7%. On top of what you already got in there, it added up to 60.
I wanna see it on paper.
Yeah.
You want the 3 and the 5 too, man?
Do you still?
Yeah, I'd like to see it all.
Okay, do you still have that sheet that I gave y'all after court last time?
Cause I'm not going off of everybody does this without seeing the facts on it. We're not here for speculation.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, how's this thing, somebody answer please?
I know what you're talking about, but I didn't know how to.
Okay, so, Okay, so I'm gonna go reprint that then, so you can see the 7%.
She's talking about that one that had that.
The big long one,
Yes.
you have that, I'll
I
just go,
don't have it with me.
okay,
So
I'll go
it
reprint it
goes.
for you.
While she's doing that, we can move on to the, approved, the proposed budget, which is just something y'all have to go, it's just exercising that, it's proposed, we won't do the final till next month. We can come back to the salaries if y'all would like to approve that.
So moving to which one?
Just, moving down to number 10 for the, proposed budget.
So if we approve the proposed budget, can you go back and change the wages?
Yes, we do this every single year. Proposed budget is proposed budget, final budget's not, it has no meaning.
I just asked a question.
Was there anything in the proposed budget that anybody had any issues with? Cause everybody's got to see what the proposed budget was for the sheriff's department.
No.
Was there issues with any
No,
of
sir.
it?
I have an issue. I noticed my travel was taken out, my expense. The judge has spoke that I'm not being able to be paid for inquest and registration. That is not what that is for. That is for personal use of my vehicle. Everything I do, I use my own personal vehicle for. Whether that's signing warrants, whether that's going to meetings, whatever. It is not for inquest and registration. And I'm asking that it be put back in.
And I wanna answer that, you can pay her for travel, but you cannot give her a stipend. And you all have the summary there from Greg Abbott, the county may not pay a justice of the peace amounts over and above justice salary for conducting inquest and serving as a magistrate.
Nolan County pays, Mitchell County pays, Jones County pays.
Just take out the words.
Well, if we can't do the stipend, we can do travel. What would you need on the travel?
I'm asking for the 3,000 to be left in there.
For travel.
It's a lot of travel.
Let's see, let's take that. Let's do it. So if we just take the word stipend out,
Well, my suggestion is how much travel is involved. I would say you do a travel sheet, you reimburse accordingly for your travel. And I had 2,000 for travel, I took mine out also, just to be fair. But you can fill in a request when you do travel for mileage, since it's a personal vehicle, it can be reimbursed at each incident. So if there's 10 a year, 12 a year, or 5 a year, you're paying accordingly. That's a decision y'all should make. And again, that's proposed budget, y'all can beat
It's
that
not
up,
set in
it's
stone,
final
it's
budget, it
just-
doesn't have to be done today.
Cause we're. Can we, how would you be about us bringing it down to where it actually is, cause up to date, you're 25, 38, 36 into what your travel stipend is.
Oh,
So-
that's not right. That's prorated.
What's prorated?
That 3,000 prorated into that.
Okay,
So it's not correct and accurate number.
that's the accurate number on it then.
I don't
She
think
got
we have
3,000, she's been getting 3,000 for the last 4 years.
No, I get that, but what's the actual number being
That
spent, is
number's
what
not
I'm
in
asking.
there. There's no such number in there. That's the reason I'm suggesting that.
It's just 100% budgeted in without showing any.
3,000 is what it's showing.
She gets 3,000.
He's asking what actually.
I get that.
Oh,
I'm getting.
I don't know it, because before, I don't know how many years ago, Angie probably knows, before they were y'all making her turn in sheets, and then y'all approved, the court approved for her to have the 3,000, and it was up there, and she got a travel. She didn't get raises on that travel, but she had a 3,000 budget, and that's what she got.
You can put whatever number, you just can't include that into a salary as a supplement.
It just needs to be travel, if it was there, correct?
Yeah, but how are you gonna, you're correct, I get what you're saying, but how are you gonna pay travel? Otherwise it
Well-
goes into your salary.
Can you not put it in as 3,000 as travel, but to be pulled out of as sheets are turned in?
As needed, that's all I'm saying. You don't even have to put a number there. Just a reimbursement for your travel.
So how, you just word that as travel will be reimbursed?
We can put 3,000 in travel, and then you can turn it in as she travels to be reimbursed. You can't call it a salary supplement.
This is her, her reviews.
Yeah. That's just fair.
What? Yeah.
This one's got, it's just cut off at the seven. I'm sorry.
Y'all wanna do item number 9, or you wanna go back up to 8? We don't.
So like on ours, like on this sheet that she just brought us, it says our travel stipend is 0.
Now, we move that back up into your salary.
Okay.
That was us.
Well, I just, it was just, right. Yes.
I'd say we don't take it away as far as that, we just don't have it down as a stipend, and then we just turn it in for reimbursement for travel.
So you gonna do that on the 3,000 as a monthly, or you gonna let her turn it in to where she travels to be reimbursed, is my question.
If she turns in for the travel to being reimbursed, then she's reimbursed for her travel, so she's not out any expense on what's going on. And then we're within mandate, because we're not stipend on there that the governor's saying we can't put on there.
That is correct. I'm just saying it's illegal to put it in as a stipend.
So actually, all you gotta do is take a stipend off of it and just leave the money in there, and it saves all the paperwork and all the bullshit. You
But
know?
how are you gonna pay that?
I haven't figured it out yet.
'Cause if you
We've
put
been
in
doing it for the
salary,
last
it
4
becomes-
years, I mean,
I understand that. I'm just saying, if you put it in there and put it on your payroll, that is a stipend, and you cannot do that.
so you have to call it a stipend if you do it that way.
That's exactly right. It's incorporated in payroll.
Gotcha.
Not telling you guys what to do, the easiest way to do it is leave the 3,000 in her budget, she can turn it in wherever she travels. Earning report will come into Becky's office, that will be approved in each commissioner's report, and then on the amount she travels. Some months she probably has more, some months she probably doesn't have any.
Nolan County listed as a, vehicle allowance.
How's that paid? You know, is it paid in the salary? You can't do that.
I think Mitchell County does it as you turn it in, but I think Nolan County does have it up in the south, is my understanding.
But that's illegal, that's all I'm saying.
This is for only the justice of the peace.
Yes, sir. I had 2,000 in mine, I took it out because I don't do fair.
It might come out more on the mileage factor, and it's 71 cents per mile.
That's what I'm saying, that's legal, that's my whole point. All she has to do every month, wherever she travels, turn it into the court, it goes in to your bills, and then it's paid. Separate check, not a supplement.
So how do we do the extension office? Do we write him a separate check for his expense?
Doesn't, I don't know how that's done to them, but it doesn't, that part doesn't matter, it's for the
Because
travel.
it's justice?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Anyway, here again, that comes into the final budget, that's not where we're at. Things we have to do today is decide on the salaries. Whatever you turn into this, that adopts that.
Yeah, we have to, the reason the salary has to be done, so we have to put it in paper, and also the voter approval rate, or the rate to put on in the paper or on the website. Just by government code, we have to do that, so that's why we're having to do this today.
And I'm gonna ask one more time so we don't get confused. Are we on the salaries or are we on the proposed budget?
Back on salary. So total payroll cost, is this correct on the last page? Everything. So 5%, that's $118,601 increase on expense for 5% payroll increase. At 7%, that's $178,282. Correct?
Yeah.
6% was $140,884.
That's correct.
Something to keep in mind, guys. I'm only one vote, but I have to speak my piece. You got probably 60% of the county on social security, you've got a 2.5% wage. They pay your salary, you're asking them for 7%. I don't think that's very palatable. That's my opinion.
I'm pretty sure the windmills, oil companies and all that are paying that too.
7%?
Not just us. I mean, I pay taxes just like anybody else does. I also gotta live too, you know? Everybody's gotta live. It's pretty bad when you can work for the county and you still get on welfare. Basically is what it is.
I think spending money before we know we have it 100% in is not the best decision.
I agree, 100%.
Didn't help. I mean, it's like, in farming wise, that'd be like putting a bunch of fertilizer out, which you have to, but when you have a break year, and that's not good.
What do we have left on the Wednesday, Becky? Just 3 or 4, I think.
We looked last year, but I don't want to misquote, let's see, we got this year. It's budgeted this year.
800 and
Would the court mind a fiscal question?
Yes, the court would.
$60,000 is the difference, right?
Yep.
That's the number you want.
I guess the biggest thing on my mind is the workforce coming for $1.9 million to come in outside audit. Out of things.
Say that again.
You know, when I come over here, the outside auditor said it's about 1.9.
Put back in the general fund last year. I think that's what we're talking about.
I don't see how it's. We're glad it's there, but, just going in the general fund. I know there's been some talk about a 10%. And I've always done, since I've been in here, the 5.
Well, there's two ways to look at it, and I'm not telling you which way to go. There's cost of living raise, which is not 10%. You can always come back in your budget process, if you wanna take your salary up, something y'all agree on, you can do that. But a cost of living raise is a cost of living raise, and there's no way you can give a 10% or even a 7% cost of living. If you wanna adjust the salaries accordingly, and then have some kind of index with the social security, with the whatever the national average is of the cost of living, but you're confusing the situation if you call it 10% cost of living wage, not 7%.
So the 7%, the cost of living rate?
That's the way it's on here. You can't bonus for anything in government. If you wanna adjust the salaries at some point, you can do that.
So that's what we need to do then, adjust the salaries and you can give a 5% raise.
We can adjust salaries and give them no raise. I'm just saying the
That's
cost
fine,
of
too.
living is the cost of living.
That's what we need to discuss then, is changing the salaries, what everybody makes.
Also, the longevity can be changed and give a percent raise, and then that way, the longer you're here, the more money you get. And when somebody new comes in, they don't make what somebody who's been here 20 years makes.
And that's the
And that
biggest
goes-
issue there is the turnaround up here.
Let me keep this in mind, and Gordon's wanting to look at the salaries. If you do that, then whoever comes in, regardless of how long you've been here, is gonna
Makes the
start.
same money.
Yeah, the longevity,
Well, it wouldn't be much, cause our salaries ain't nothing, that's why, you know, maybe we raise the commissioner's salary, maybe we'll get some good commissioners in here, maybe we'll all be gone.
We've increased every year, the the reason we're here is for a lot of years, there was no increase up here. And I'm sorry, I wasn't
Oh,
in
you
office
admit
when
that?
all that was going on.
There was no increase, I'm glad you realize that. That's what I'm trying to do, is get it up.
But over the last 12 years, there has been an increase through here.
Very, not in the commissioner's salary. Maybe a little 2 or 3% raises, all we've had, and our raises ain't on, based on what, our stipend was always in there, we'd get raises on the stipend, so we was always getting a raise on that. When I started here, my salary was 21,000. Today it's 31. Then we get that 10,000, you can't count that. We never got a raise on that other 10,000. That's for vehicle.
Like this year's 43.
But I know you took it out and moved it up like I asked you to do, and I appreciate you doing that.
Well, that gives you the percentage increase on going forward.
It'll help, yeah. But our road foreman makes more than we do.
If you went up 5 this year, and you got solar money and tax money and the Bitcoin coming in next year, you could go up another 5 next year. That's 10% in 2 years. That's pretty good.
Well, that's what we've done
They
the
did
last
5 last year.
the last 4 years. We've done it 5%.
So
You might could go up more next year. In 2 years, you could probably go up to, I don't know, depends on how much that Bitcoin thing works.
And those are numbers we don't have yet.
But the Bitcoin's not up and running yet.
43,000 is what the commissioner salary, 43,824.
We like, we got some money in the cost of living, 7%.
Cost of living is not 7%. Don't be.
You told us,
No,
we
I
have,
did
we need
not.
to adjust the salaries and then we can give them 5%. That's the way to do it.
Cost of living is about 2.5, between 2.5 and 3%. I think it's actually 2.75.
I don't know where you shop for groceries, but it ain't where I do. 2.5%. Our damn cost of living has went up way more than 2.5% in the last 2 or 3 years. If you go to the grocery store, you'll see that real quick. Everything's running, fuel, everything's running. It ain't just groceries, it's clothes, everything.
I'm at 5, I don't see any more than that. If we need to put money towards anything, it really needs to go to a lot more infrastructure within this county, more for what the taxpayers are paying in for. Is my opinion.
Anybody else?
We need to adjust the salaries if we can't give more than 5%. These people gotta live just like everybody else, you know? It's tough out there. We've got the income coming in. We've got plenty of income coming in. It's not gonna put us in the red. It's not gonna hurt us, you know?
Well, we got the income.
We're in good
We've been
shape.
high with stuff over the last few years. If we start getting ridiculous on our spending because we can't uphold a budget, then there is no income. And it's not just what's going on this year, It's over the next few years. We could go all this year and then come back next year and get hit hard, and then everything we've done this year, you've gotta undo next year. It's not a 1-2 year scenario, it's what's gonna happen in the next 3 years within the county.
Well, you don't have no idea what's gonna happen tomorrow,
Nope.
you know?
But that's why I like what we were saying, what you're going off of is,
If I live my life based on what's gonna happen next week, I don't know what I'd do. All I'm saying is, we're starving everybody to death in this courthouse, and if y'all can't see that, I'm sorry. But I can see it. I live it. My county paycheck don't go nowhere. At all. I mean, it's just, we're behind. And I wanna be paid whatever other elected official makes in this courthouse, other than the sheriff and the judge. I'm not asking for what they get. I want my salary brought up. I would like to retire from here, but I can't retire from here on chicken feed money. I've been here 20 years, I can retire on $1,000 a month, maybe. That is my problem, is the retirement is not any good. We either need to add to the retirement, we need to do something so people can retire, and they won't stay here 40 years. Let somebody else do it.
Anybody else?
I wanna say something. I didn't take this job for the money. I took this job to help out the community and what's best for the community. And I think that if 5% is good for the community this year, then that's what we're gonna do this year. That's how I feel. And next year we can do 10, and maybe in 2 years we can do 10. I don't know. Whenever the money gets here, then we'll do it. But if the money's not here, I don't suggest that we do
The money is
the
here.
whole, not all of it.
We've already,
The big money, the Bitcoin, all that stuff, that's not here yet. And that is not a guarantee, nothing's a guarantee, like you said.
no, it's not. But 20 years ago, we was right around $2 million, and now we're at 10. Tell me it's not getting better.
It's getting better, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
and it'll
good.
keep
On the
getting
right-
better.
on the right
It's gonna
road.
keep getting better.
All right, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Like to see 7, but 5 has always worked in the past. You got this pole still on the tree? That's on 5?
He posted on 5.
Five's in the proposal.
So the longevity, Becky, do we have to decide that today?
It would be good if we did, yes.
do you have the sheet? of
Yes, I
longevity?
propose
Because
this different longevity, and it'd be a $22,000
honestly, moving forward, everybody
increase.
wants to do the salaries like you were talking about a while ago, but I know any other government, especially federal job I've been in, you didn't have a high salary. You had and Pat knows this, the sheriff knows this, you had a set salary, and your longevity is where you got that increase. And what that does is, for the taxpayer that funds every bit of everything that goes on up here, doesn't get hammered when a new person takes over the position of the person that was there for 20 years that wanted to retire. They didn't, that person at a $60,000 salary that it took them 20 years to build up to, or a $70,000 salary, the new person didn't get a $70,000 salary with 0 experience. They went back to the base salary and had to earn their way up.
This ain't
So I would
military.
be more up for longevity. That gives people a reason to come up here and stay up here
Stay.
to add to their salary.
That's fine with me too. Let's do the longevity.
I agree with that.
So that's why I'm at 5% on this, and if we're gonna do any major increase, it goes on the longevity.
I'm good with that.
You give people a reason to be here, to stay here. We've raised it year 4 last and last year, I thought.
Longevity?
No, longevity, no, longevity stayed the same.
No, we
I
didn't.
thought we
This is
raised
the-
it 1 year.
This is the, no, we
No.
didn't, we stayed the same.
No,
This
we
is
stayed
what
the
I'm-
same.
Because it
What?
doesn't change until year 10, and it stays the same as it is, but year 10, you get a jump, and then 20, and then it caps out at 25. I think that's only fair. When somebody retires at 20, person don't come in and make what,
Going
should be
down like
20
your
years,
question,
who's been here
I
20
think,
years.
longevity.
But then when they retire,
I'll
it
be
goes
all
back
right
in.
with that. As long as everybody that's been here long enough gets more than, and then when I'm gone, somebody don't start out with what I was getting.
So it doesn't bump up until you've been here really 10, but
So where's it gonna start at 10?
I think it was 30,000.
3,000. And that's
Three.
more than what you're asking for on the other.
So what is it at 20?
10.
10,000?
I mean, 8.
That 10 sound, I'll vote for the 10.
That would be
10's
8
at
instead of the 4, so it's $4,000.
It caps at 25, so if you've been here
It
25
caps,
years.
it caps at
10,000.
10,000
It should.
at
There's-
25 years.
There should be a cap.
8,000 at 20 years.
5,000 at 15 and 3,000 at 10, and it's still the same as right now. You still get the 150 every year you've been here, till you're here 10 years, which those are milestones for people to work.
I'm for that.
Is that on the agenda? We can do that during the budget
You
workshop,
can do
right?
that, you can do that, yes. Put that on the workshop, to change the, cause it doesn't go to bed till next month. All we have to agree on today is the increase in salaries and the tax rate. So if we do that, are you okay with 5%?
I'm okay with 5%, but, we need to figure out what do y'all figure out with the JP?
That's,
That's basically like cutting somebody's paycheck.
I understand that, but let's don't get ahead of ourselves. We gotta
I'm not
do
trying
that.
to get ahead of ourselves. I'm gonna make sure it's done in a mannerly time where it's not too late.
I'm telling you, that's on item number 10, we're on item number 9.
Got you. Sorry.
Longevity is a separate thing.
Yeah, we're-
Yeah, we'll
It's
bring
not
that back
on there,
next
so
time.
we'll, it's not on
But this is
the agenda,
just
we
the
can get
public,
into
this
that,
is just the publish, I got it.
right, on item number 12.
Yeah, the longevity doesn't have to be published, so we can do it at the next meeting.
Okay. So I make a motion to approve the 5% publication on the, 5% salary increase.
Have a motion and a second by Mr. Posey, all in favor? Unanimous, motion carried. Item number 10, approve proposed budget. Here again,
This
proposed
is
budget, we're
what
gonna
we're
change it.
talking about. So the biggest thing on the travel stuff, that's the issue right now, is the fact that the governor's saying for magistrate, I'm just trying to get this correct. The county may not pay a justice of the peace amounts over or above the justice's salary for conducting an inquest and serving as a magistrate. There you go.
That's what that says, but that's not
Okay,
what she's saying. It's
So
not
what
for
are-
it's not for doing the magistration, it's for her vehicle expense.
but if we can't legally put it on there because it's considered a stipend, is that why we have to do it the other way?
Turn in your mileage, you'll be ready.
That's what I'm asking. It's not about taking the money away. Let's make it legal on what we're doing. That's our job. And if it's at 71 cents on it, it's probably gonna be higher than what she's being stipend right now to begin with.
Or you could adjust her pay level instead of doing the 49,934, add $3,000 to it.
You can do that, but you're opening a can of worms when you're paying an elected official more than any other.
It'll get, it can ensure it when you do an increase, it'll get it increased it on. Just
What's your
another
thoughts
option.
on it, Dexter?
I don't know how many miles did you run last year? All idea.
And
It's not,
Well, we
probably never really kept up with it, though.
We didn't have to keep up. That's why they changed it, so she didn't have to turn and collect a check every, couple of weeks or whatever.
I had no idea, you know, I'm trying to go run up to that jail. When I go to Abilene for meetings, I don't know mileage and for that stuff. When I went to Lubbock the other day to pick up stuff, I didn't put mileage in for that.
What's the deal? You're not turning it in now, but if it goes to that, just start turning in the paperwork.
You know what a pain that is?
But if it makes it legal, I know it's a pain, but the whole point is, we're the government, we're supposed to set the example of what we're doing. So if they're telling us we have to do it that way, then we've gotta fill out the paperwork, right?
Another one you can beat up next month. No doubt about it.
So this doesn't have to go on this one, this month, just,
So, for discussion, we go on your permit, we just need to approve the proposed budget. And all that is an exercise that the budget's been filed. It changes nothing, I already changed, gonna change the longevity, so that has nothing to do with the proposed budget. I just need a motion to approve, the motion is filed, that's all it is.
I make the motion to approve the budget and we study this and have it on next month.
All it is, just a motion, that's the exercise. I have a motion on the approved budget, do I have a second? Mr. Bowles, second, all in favor? Dexter, yea or nay? Unanimous motion carries. All right, item number 11, approve proposed tax rate. Becky, would you like to?
Sure. This is kind of weird, but the no new revenue rate, is where we don't go up on taxes and it brings the same amount of money as last year. But this year, there's a voter approval rate, is actually lower than our no new revenue rate. So if we went with a no new revenue rate, we would have to have a public hearing to approve that. So I suggest that we go with the voter approval rate. That way we don't have to have a hearing, and that's the minimum we can go up on taxes. And that doesn't have, we're not really going up on taxes, but that's the numbers we got from the appraisal district.
And that number, 0.554359 is in the proposed budget.
Yes, that's the number we plugged in.
Can you explain how the no new
I-
revenue?
First time in history for me.
We don't know, I mean, I would have to talk to Bruce about it, but it does happen. For some reason, you know, the state keeps us within so much percentage, we can't go up. And they have the rates where we go, but if we went to the no
Is
new
that
revenue rate.
because we've done the no new revenue the last 2 years
Yes,
prior?
yes,
I think part of it's in there, I think part of it is on appraisals.
it has to do with the price values. So normally, that second no new revenue rate would be lower than the voter approval rate, and that's what we usually go with, because that doesn't increase the taxes, but this year, the voter approval rate is actually lower than the no new revenue rate. So since that is lower, we'd have to have a hearing, a public hearing, if we went with the no new revenue.
I'll make a motion to approve the voter approval rate at 0.554359.
Do I have a second?
I'll say it.
Second by Mr. Pippin, all in favor? Unanimous, motion carried. All right, y'all want a break, or you wanna knock this budget workshop out?
I could use a break.
Take a little 5